What's up, YouTubers? Today we're going to talk about the Demko knives AD20.5 utilizing the innovative shark lock. The shark lock incorporates the best of the triad lock and the axis lock, not necessarily in terms of design, but in the strength and the ambidexterity of the deployment. So in terms of on the strength front, it does provide a back pin to the tang here, as well as a bar that comes across the flat there. So it has great ambidexterity, kind of jumping ahead into some of the pros of that thing. But this is truly a great thing for deployment and retraction. Your fingers never need to be in the blade path, really, is what it comes down to. This knife sports a 3.25-inch blade of AUS 10A steel, which is kind of a budget steel, wah. But okay, it's one of the negatives against this one we'll get to. It does weigh in at 3.6 ounces for me, and it prices at $150. In terms of some comparison knives, it might be alternatives. The Southern Grind Spider Monkey is very similar in terms of blade thickness and size. It does happen to be a liner lock, but with some very beefy titanium liners there. So this is definitely kind of a knife that I think would be similar in there. That one runs for about $230 new. The Benchmade Mini Adamas, and when I already did the Mini Adamas review, I just felt these two, other than just the grip of that one, but these two are definitely, I think, kindred spirits in terms of blade use and hard use. So the Benchmade Mini Adamas goes for about $213. And then lastly, it's not really a comparison, but I just had to sing it. Daddy shark do 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 do. Daddy shark do 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 do. Had to do it. You knew it had to come. The full size AD20, which is truly kind of a big brute and not the most practical carry. It's a very big, strong knife. Already done the review on that, but that's kind of what it looks like next to that one. In terms of the pros of this one, again, I talked about the ambidexterity of the fidgetiness. So, left hand, no problem. Backside, this one's really great, and your fingers never have to be in the way of the blade path. So really good. Provides for just great fidgety goodness. Has a very strong lock and provides for what I considered actually very hard use, which of course means for me, I need to get out the gloves and try this one out. So as far as gloves and a hard use, absolutely this knife is great for handleability and really just super good there. It does have full liners too, and they are nested. Let me see if I can get that on camera. Yeah, you can see that it does come right up to the edge there, but these are fully nested liners on this thing. And that is also a very good thing, because I think it definitely adds to the rigidity of this, given the fact that it does use this Grivery plastic. It carries very thin, and also it's more practical. So if you take a look at how thin this thing is compared to the full size, it's not even close. So, and also in the height there too. So as the carry goes, very good. Also, they did skeletonize those liners as well. See if we can see that in there. May or may not show, but they are skeletonized very well to keep the weight down, but still keep the rigidity. It is affordable at $150. I wouldn't call it inexpensive or cheap, but it is definitely more affordable than the $425 for the full size 4-inch or 3.75-inch blade, and it is more available. I'm not saying it's available, it's more available. Definitely, I think a lot more people got their hands on these than they did the AD20s, and part of that, just comes from outsourcing the manufacturing out to Taiwan, and there will be another batch of these. This is one of those that, Taiwan's going to be able to produce quite a few of those, and they're going to keep selling them as much as we'll buy them, and we'll keep buying them. I think the jimping on the back of the blade is fantastic. It's got just enough grip for use, and you're going to need to use that or want to use that for certain things. And then I think the jimping also on the shark lock itself is really good. Maybe a tad sharp, but like I said, I'd rather have it a tad sharp and be secure in grabbing that thing than not have that. So really good jimping all the way around. And I think the last thing for me is the pocket clip landing. Whenever you have a texture like this, diamond texture, it could be pretty nasty, but because they have a landing for the pocket clip there, and you can see it of course on this side, but they don't include a double clip, the landing just definitely helps it secures it, but it doesn't tear your pocket apart. So I found this was not a pocket ripper. On the con side, the left hand, it's left hand and ambidextrous, but there is no second clip. I know that like sometimes in some of the cold steels, they would actually put in the equal and opposite left-hand clip. You know, maybe, I don't know. I haven't checked to see if they provide these or if you can buy them aftermarket, but it does provide for that capability. Obviously, you just swap these, but you'll just need a different clip specifically. They didn't include that. I think that's kind of a problem. The Grivery definitely is a little bit plasticky. I would have preferred to have it be G10. Just for the feel, it's not that I'm afraid of this slipping out of the hand. It's just, like I said, it just feels a little bit plasticky. I understand why they did it. They can get in and keep this thing thinner and go with much tighter overmolds on top of those liners. I would have actually myself, though, rather they actually made it a little bit bigger, both just a smidge taller as well as a smidge wider for in the hand, because it was a little bit thin in the hand. It's great for the carry, but in terms of in the hand, I would rather actually have some more. So going back to that, the mini Adamas, you can see the difference in there, and the Adamas definitely is just much more, full-handed. So that I do consider kind of one of the cons of this one. The AUS 10A steel choice, again, I wouldn't have minded paying, I don't know, $15, $25 more and gotten like S35VN steel. I can't say in a couple weeks of use. I didn't use it a massive amount, but I definitely used it. And I'll put something at the end of the video. I cut some zip ties. Was probably the hardest thing I cut. But it did generate one little small chip. I'm not sure what that was from, because I definitely did use this. And again, not that other steels won't chip too. Whatever event caused that might have caused it as well. But I did happen to notice it. And it just lost a little bit of that super sharpness at the very end of use of that. And then the last thing is the shark lock release does get in the way in certain grabs or in certain hold positions. So, if you're all the way thumb up there, not a problem. If you happen to be where the little bone, right, so not on the joint, but the bone actually gets on that shark lock, that's not a very comfortable position. There's a potential of it starting to release that, but I wasn't really worried about that so much. It's just a little bit discomforting for just a few positions there, but from the full back and the full front, not a problem. I definitely found it on a few spots when I was cutting through some stuff. I was like, oh yeah, that shark lock does dig into the back of your thumb a little bit. Overall though, this is a 3.6 ounce knife with toughness and carryability in a price range that matches a PM3 from Spyderco. It has the ambidexterity and fidgetiness of a Benchmade while keeping your hand out of the blade. And really, this thing is very, very tough. I definitely twisted on a lot of things, and it did fantastic. So for my money, this is an absolute win by every measure. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, go ahead, hit like and subscribe, and have a great day. Take care. This is a classic case of, I could go get a pair of dikes, but I have some, zip tie wrapping here, and I just don't want to. I have the AD20.5 on me. And I'm going to go ahead and just try this out. Yep, this one does really well. Relatively simple.